Alright. I'm getting super laggy. It's not good. Well, it's another Friday. Yeah, I'm getting really bad lag, but whatever. We're going to keep on going. Keep on going no matter what. If you have just joined us, am I looking good or am I all laggy? Let me know. Well, while I'm waiting to hear from that, I'll get my hair going here. I just got out of the shower a few minutes ago. My hair's... You're a little laggy, low frame rate. That's exactly what I thought. I wonder why. Testing, testing. Screen's black. Good morning. Let me just double check all this. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, we're just gonna trudge on. The hungover look, yeah. No, I've been up for a little while. Um, Woke up, took my son to summer camp, and came back, took a quick shower, and here we are. Yep. Shout out to Elisan, the Tim the cat, and Merv the rabbit. Okay. Greetings from across the pond. Pomade. This is what I've been. I've used this for a long time. It's not anything fancy. I get it at Target. So it's a Friday. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves. Ready for the big weekend. I can't even look at the camera. It's hard because it's lagging on my end. Good morning. Yeah, we're going to do a little shave here. Just get all prettied up first. All right, looking pretty good. Okay, well, if you haven't already seen, greetings from Germany, says Frank. Good morning, DE Razor Shaving. How often do you recommend someone send in their $1.95 for a revamp service? I mean, if it needs it, if there's plating loss, sure, send it in. Otherwise, just send it in for a tune-up if it just needs to be cleaned up. But if it's like got brass it's showing, sure, revamp is a good idea. Okay. Well, many of you guys know that we have, Razor Emporium. Razor Emporium has a sister company called Rex Supply Company, and we've, really known for hardware, but we've gotten into software, right, as well. And so a few months ago, I think around, I think winter last year, we had 1955 come out, and now we've got 1966. In fact, I'm wondering if do I even have 19? Oh, it's in my other bathroom. I have 1955 in my other bathroom. But yeah, really excited about this. So we're just gonna we're gonna have, there'll be one more offering from this line of Rex soaps, and that'll be probably Black Friday time this year. But for right now, for the summertime, we came out with this other soap, 1966. Oh, Ezra Arthur is here. Okay. Yeah, so the whole idea is that we wanted to kind of go back in time and revisit some of the classic scent notes, fragrances of these era-specific times. So we had 1955, and that had some scent notes that were really popular in the 50s. Now we're into the 60s, and we actually looked at a couple different brands. There was a brand called Aramis that had like a bergamot kind of note, and there was a Brut product actually that had a kind of a woodsy citrus note to it. And so we kind of took those two ideas for inspiration, and we have this. So the label obviously really implies it's orange, which is a really 60s color. But the primary big note you're going to smell with this guy is tangerine, and then the other two major notes are bergamot and sandalwood. So you get kind of a blast from the past, and it's with the same base as the 1955, which is the Rex Old World Tallow, as we're calling it, Old World Tallow. Also says right here, Old World Tallow. So if you've been someone who is around shaving for a while, you know that a lot of the older soaps, like let's say Tabak from Germany or Mitchell's Wool Fat, they use animal fat as part of the base. So we wanted to do that as well. The Razor Emporium soaps are all vegetable base, vegan, right? But the Rex is animal fat, and it's tallow, so that means it's beef fat. If you were going to make a trilogy, make 1977. A birth year scent with a birth year Gillette Super 109, musky and leather. Musky leather, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll definitely do something unique for the last one, and it will be 1977. You picked up on my alliteration. 55, 66, 77. Yeah. These are just arbitrary years. I didn't want 1960s, 1950s with apostrophe S. I just picked a year. I liked 55, 66, 77. Okay, so let's get lathered up here. I like this calic back here. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to use this little towel that I just use to wash or get my hair wet. I'll just use it to get my skin wet as well. Yeah, a lot of people who are trying the 55 or the 66 are commenting how nice the formula is. I love it. I still love the Razor Emporium, vegetable soap base, and again, it's like comparing, Cadillac and Lexus. They're both really nice, right? But man, this tallow is just really great for my skin. I love it. And I'm not like some artisan soap maker guy like some of these other guys. If there's someone who claims that tallow can be, there's not superior to vegetable, I'm not here to get into like the whole debate of like vegetable versus tallow. Like I think both have a place in the market. And if you're not a vegan, if like you don't have an issue using animal product, then just try both. And like you don't have to say that one's better than the other. They just are different, and try them both. I definitely have had lots of vegetable-based ones that are super slick and super kind of fatty feeling, right? With like all sorts of butters added, kokum butter and avocado butter and all this kind of stuff. So I have the 66 tangerine scent is very strong. Don't get the other scents through the tangerine. Okay. Wally, no worries. Everyone's nose is different. I've let different people smell this, and I've had someone say, "Oh, I smell bergamot." Some people smell the tangerine. The tangerine is strong. You're right, but it's also just a strong note in general. Like citrus is just very strong in general. Fun fact: has anyone ever told you that you look like Robert the Bruce from the movie Braveheart? No. Let me guess, 77 would be mainly patchouli. Maybe. I have both kinds, enjoy both, just a personal preference for tallow, says Mark. Yeah, Robert the Bruce. Unite us! Unite the clans! Aaron says, "Good morning, Matt. 1166. That's a great stuff." Yeah, thank you. So it's. I'm gonna make a giant mess on my floor here. I should put a towel down. Just drip right on the towel. Bam! Just gonna lather this right here. I get to all these people who say, oh, I need a bowl. I'm like, just use the top of the soap. Like it works perfect. I got some residual slickness here. I'm not gonna even use the pre-shave. Whoa! I'm not gonna use the Razor Emporium pre-shave. I'm just gonna go right on. Watching and ordering products from Suffolk, Virginia. Cool. Do you bloom your soaps first? Do I get? I usually put like just a little bit of water on top, if that's what you mean. I don't let it sit for like minutes. I just throw some soap or some water on top of the soap and get a wet brush and go to town. So you can see it has no problem springing to life here. Shooting lather. Will unscented pre-shave be available soon? Yes. Yeah. I hate that this is the position. I literally am at the behest of my graphic artist. This is one area that I wish that I had in-house, or I wish that I had the personal skills to do. I know that there's some soap makers that are talented graphic artists. I'm not. I wish I'm really good at helping a graphic artist arrive at a vision or kind of inspire them, but I'm not a graphic artist. So I usually do rely on somebody, and he's been behind. I mean, all the Razor Emporium soaps, all the Rex stuff, the Rex packaging, our logo, Rex logo. I mean, it's kind of a one-stop shop, and for me, it's worth waiting. So I'm waiting on a label from him for several things, and unscented pre-shave is one of those. Yes, Andrew Sakari. Yeah, the tallow does lather really fast. Yeah, residual slickness. Okay, cool. I can comment on that. So what am I gonna grab? I'm the most boring guy in the world, guys. I'm just boring when it comes to wet shaving. I'm not like the variety of the day. I'm gonna grab Ambassador. I mean, it's what I grab. It's on 3 practically. It's got a Persona 74 that I've used for half a dozen shaves already, but it still feels great. Very nice. This is tripping me out to do this shave with this because I'm having lag. I want you to know I'm literally doing most of this just based off of feel. It's really nice. After I'm even done, it still feels slick right here and feels really close. Can barely feel any stubble with just those 2 little, like almost like a blade buff kind of thing. Yeah, most of this I'm just going off of feel here. I mean, I think we've all shaved our face so many times you can almost do it blindfolded, right? I'm going to adjust this slightly. Go more like this. Okay. Let's see here. Are these soaps good for sensitive skin, or the fragrance strong and cause irritation? The tallow base for sure is good for sensitive skin. I would grab the 55 just because I think I've heard more people who have issues with citrus having a reaction. So the 55 has more of a floral thing going on, so I would grab 55. Using a coveted Persona 74, there's a guy that sought to get 74 shaves off of one blade. Yeah, that's probably a little bit more than I would want to go. I'd probably go like 10 or 15. I recently bought a stash of 74s. Somebody posted up on one of the groups a whole bunch of them, and I contacted them immediately and I bought them all. I was just like, done. It is my favorite blade. And I'm not just saying that to be like fancy, like, ooh, look at me, 74s. I just feel like they do cut better. They're more, I guess, like forgiving is the word. They don't feel harsh. They feel like soft, but then they cut so close and then they last a long time. So that's what I like. I've purchased at least 10 razors from Razor Emporium. Time I grab this soap. Order up. Thank you, the Sicilian Shaver. Yeah, I've been using 1966 for about 2 weeks now. And today's Friday. Let's see. 2 days ago on Wednesday, we shot we shot a 1966 shave in the studio, and a spotlight on them on the product. So you'll see those next week. But it's just a really great performing and smelling soap. I'll tell you what, my wife has been liking it. She every time I'm done shaving and I put on the splash, she's like, "Ooh, it smells so good." So it's been nice. It's always good when your partner likes what you're using. Makes it a little bit easier when you when the UPS package arrives with something else and you say, "But honey, you like this one. This was one of your favorites, remember?" I got it just because, I wanted to make sure you like it, sweetie. Big fan of your Element 47. Thank you, Zach. Someone else, Climac 37 says, just ordered the soap. Thank you, sir. Andrew, you think Razor Prime will ever attempt to reproduce the Persona 74? I said this before on another live, and I have no problem saying this. We contacted Persona, which then referred us to their actual. So Persona is just a name now, and it's owned by a company called Edgewell, and they also own Schick and Duracell batteries. They subcontract to a blade company in Virginia called Accutech. Accutech is the actual maker of the blades. They make the Gem blades, the Persona blades, the Everready, PAL, then a bunch of utility blades for like medical industry and like construction and stuff, like utility blades. They're in, I think it's West Falls, Virginia. You can look them up, Accutech. That's who we buy. Like when I buy the Persona Med Prep, I'm buying them through Accutech. You can't, like the general public can't order from them. You have to go through like a company, but we do buy direct. I contacted their R&D team. Like I contacted my salesperson. I was like, hey, you guys had this blade. In fact, I sent them a sample. I was like, this is a blade Persona made in the 70s. Yeah, I even showed them original ad for it. They had no knowledge about it. They had no information on it. They had no records of it. They had no one. They even asked some of their old timers who'd been there for a while, and they had like a vague recollection of it, but they were like, well, if you want to get involved with trying to do a custom run of blades with a custom kind of tungsten alloy steel, your quantities just to get started are going to be in the 10 to 20 million blades, and it's going to be like you're going to have to pay for materials up front. Like it's going to be some R&D expense. Guys, I kind of tried to pursue it, but it started stacking up to be almost the cost of a cheap house to try to bring this blade back or even attempt. And at the same time, I was like, you know what? What if we go through all this and we spend all this money and we get, tens of millions of blades and they're not good? And so I was just like, it's just cost prohibitive. I can't finance this. I would say that the med prep are very, very close. Yes, I'm dry shaving. There's residual slickness enough that I can actually do this. Do you have a favorite blade, Wally? Yeah, the Persona 74 or the Med Prep Persona. Thank you, Aaron. Yes, enabled shaver. Yes, the next version will be 77. That's probably be the last. I didn't want to have Rex have 30 different soaps. You look at like other razor makers like Edwin Jagger or Mula. They have some soap offerings, but it's not like a huge catalog like Taylor of Old Bond Street or something. And so I'm going to kind of do the similar thing where we'll have three. Three is a nice even number. So we'll have 55, 66, 77. And I want them to cover different areas. So we have 66 will be like the citrus. 55 is more of a floral. Someone's suggestion for the leather and musk, that's actually not bad at all. We may go in that direction for 77. I guess every time I think about like 1977, I always think of like Anchorman and that scene with like the Sex Panther, um, the Sex Panther cologne that he pulls out and he's like, it's made with real panthers. Like I don't know. Um, yeah, John 3 is an odd number. Yeah, I meant by even I meant symmetrical. In the sense that it's a nice round number. Yeah. Do you think I got a bunch? Oh, we got a batch of 60 on. I got a batch of 66 on Monday. I'm really loving it. And the 55. Do you recommend scooping soap out of the bowl or just sticking your brush? Dude, just do what I did. Just stick your brush right on top. That's what I do. Off topic, your customer service is excellent. Wally, thank you very much. I will pass it along to DJ and Ashley and Emily and our customer service team. Do you think Razor Emporium or Rex will ever put out an Old Spice scent? I'm not big on like cloning scents. There's other vendors that do that, and there's so many clones out there of other scents. That's just not really my interest level. Um, I would say our closest thing to Old Spice is Old School from Razor Emporium, but even that is different, or maybe the barber shop. Again, if you want Old Spice, go get Old Spice, or there's other brands that have done cold spices and all these other ones. So just I'm not really into like like look, I did it too. Look, everyone else did it. I did it too. I kind of like doing just more unique themes or things that inspire me, or just kind of cover bases. Like to me, a citrus um, kind of smell is covering a base. A floral like the 55 is covering a base that's a popular base without getting into the specifics of trying to copy something. 88 would be a great too for must type scent. Yeah, rest metal flask would go great with it. We looked at different packaging, and there may be something where we get involved with custom packaging. For right now, we're just using the same packaging as the Razor Emporium stuff. So I'm putting on the splash. You guys should know I'm not usually a splash person. I'm usually a balm guy. You probably seen me a million times put on balms, but I'm putting on the splash today. And so yeah, it does say to shake it up, shake it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it always reminds me of like orange juice. And we don't add any color. The 55, we did add a color blue number 1. You'll see on it. That's a food grade blue coloring. This is just the tangerine fragrance that gives it this color. So, and it just worked out good because then I told the graphic artist, I'm like, the main note is tangerine, so let's make sure that the label goes together. And so it looks really pretty together. So I'll let you guess what the color of 77 is going to be. Oh, this is what I always tell people. This is what I'm going for. This is what I'm talking about. Watch this. It's almost like my fingers stick to my skin. It's such a nice, close, like tacky feel. It just feels so good and close. And I just went one pass with a little bit of blade buffing, but like did the cold water thing, a nice splash, and a nice quality soap. It feels so good. I love it. Very, very satisfied with the product. Aaron Brown says in Australia they have this shop, has a lot of shaving soaps, creams, and razors. I am though thought about getting a Rex razor. Cool. Hopefully they carry our stuff. If not, tell them to contact us. They can become a distributor. The bergamot and tangerine combo is wonderful. Thank you, Aaron. Do soaps expire? I have a lot of soaps, so can take years to finish a tub. I think as long as you keep them dry and you don't put them away wet and they don't get like mildew growing on them and stuff like that, I think you're fine. I would just make sure you air out your soaps. Like even like right now, I'm just gonna, you know, clean off the lip from all my excess residue. These are waterproof labels. So you see, this is a damp cloth. I can rub this and it's not gonna mess up the label. Just really nice. So just make sure that you let it dry out. I got my soap here is just gonna dry out on the counter. And I'll put the cap back on like when I get home from work later. I know this sounds crazy, but I actually got to the point where at home, I don't even rinse out my brush. You're probably going to think that's stupid. First off, this is an inexpensive brush. It's one of our like $25 or $30 Badger brushes. But I just let this go on the counter. And then the next time I go to shave, I just usually get that wet and I just kind of make up another lather. And it's like the lather that never ends. You hear about like these soups or curries at some restaurants that they keep on adding to the soup, and like the same soup's been going for a long time. Like every day they keep like a small portion from yesterday, and they start with that, and they keeps the flavor going. All this kind of stuff. I keep the lather going, especially if I'm going to use the same soap for a week or two, which I usually do. I go through like stages where I use the same product for a week or two, and then I'll switch and use something else for a week or two. I really like to kind of get just immersed into it for a while, and then I switch to something else. So I like to just keep the lather going. So that answers your question. But yeah, I had a great shave, feeling nice. We've been going for 28 minutes. I'll go for another couple minutes if there's any good questions, maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. And if there's any great questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I'm going to get ready and head on into the workshop. Even though it's Friday, I still go to the workshop, of course. I got to cut some paychecks. I got to get some jobs off my desk. I have some service work that needs to be checked out and sent over to shipping department. Lots of stuff I need to do today before I can just hang up the towel. I mean, just side note. Generally, I do like having Fridays be kind of like a more laid back day. I think I work pretty hard Monday through Thursday, and so Friday I usually take care of miscellaneous, and I'll usually take a staff member to lunch, and have a nice lunch with them, and yeah, have a nice Friday afternoon. Are your lab blues the same as Med Prep? So Wally, I don't know how to answer that question. When we order through Accutech, they're not called Lab Blues at all. They're not called Med Prep. Those are Sorry, I just said it told me a warning, so I just clicked that. When we order through Accutech, there's no line item on the order form that says Lab Blues Med Prep. It does not say that whatsoever. Um, they I forgot what the SKU they called it, but it's just a blade number. And so I know that it's a blade that it's in blue label or blue wrapper. It comes in a long rectangular cardboard box, and they're all just lined up in there, and they're in blue wrappers. I call those Lab Blues because they're blue. Um, I've also seen another one that's medical prep. I think was what we were referring to. The white wax wrappers that are kind of like a translucent white. And I've used those. I think they call it comfort coated. And I've used those, and they are not the same as Lab Blues. They're actually, and I've been told this, they are the same double-edged blade that goes into the dispensers, like the silver dispensers you'll see at a pharmacy, that are like Walgreens branded or CVS branded or Kroger or whatever. And those same medical prep blades are used for private label. So that's what I've been told. That's my experience too, because I've received the little dispensers from them directly from Accutech, and the Med Prep and the Lab Blues, and the Med Prep and the ones in the dispenser feel exactly the same, and then the Lab Blues to me feel way sharper and much more comfortable. What's the difference between tallow and old world tallow? Zach Taylor. I'm into branding and marketing. That's what I have a background in. It's actually my degree is branding, or sorry, business marketing. I just came up with the word old world tallow as just a fun thing to say, just a little moniker. Um, we had called the Razor Emporium small batch. We said small batch or small batch series. And so when I was telling my graphics person about the tallow soap, I said, yeah, it's a really kind of like old world thing to do is to have tallow. And he's like, oh, I like that phrase, old world tallow. And I'm like, okay, cool. There's nothing special. Tallow is tallow. We just say old world tallow to kind of just say that's how like soaps from the past used to be made. TTO adjustable Rex, Terry M. Still in progress. We've done some 3D printing, and there's still so much to do. Maybe next Black Friday 2024. I would love that. That'd be my goal. Thank you, VD Lorenzo. Aaron Brown, hit up Con. What I forgot the name of his store. There's several shaving stores. We sell to shaving stores in Australia. Hit up some of them and ask them to carry Rex products and reach out to us, and we can sell and start an account with them. Yep. Okay. All right. We're at 33 minutes, 33 seconds, 33:33. Seems like a good number to end on. Um, any last minute questions before I sign out? Get ready and go to work. Get my uniform on. Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We had about 30 people, 40 people watch at certain points. Comment if you have anything else. I can look back later at these. You'll see a official 1966 shave in the studio next Friday. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for supporting Razor Emporium. We're here because of you, and have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Bye bye.